Arg! Ahoy there, matey! Welcome aboard the world of boating.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
I was just looking into buying a boat of my own.
Call World of Boating toll-free now at 1-8888-28-BOAT. That's 1-888-828-BOAT.
And welcome. This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Captain Patrick Barry, the boater, rounding out the crew as we navigate the latest boating news and information. And kick off the show by just giving a little update. I no longer have COVID. Patrick was not here last week. I don't know if he heard the news or heard my little song that I started the show off with last week. But yeah, I had COVID last week. I have it no longer. And that was the second time. I've been fully vaccinated, boosted, the works. I got it a second time. But I've recovered in less than a week. So that means I believe, Barry, that I'm superhuman, right? We'll go with that.
Well, I don't
just
know
say
about
yes.
human,
Just
but
say yes.
We'll just say yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'll say yes.
So you there.
Checks in the mail.
I'm back in full effect. Really didn't skip a beat. We did the show, had no problems really last week. Even without a captain at the helm, we managed. But was that news to you, Patrick, or did you get wind of this infection amongst the crew at the World of Boating?
I did hear about it
Yeah.
through email that I got sent to me where people were wondering when I was taking over the show
Yeah,
because you were on death's door.
right.
And there was, I mean, it was pretty much, I think they were planning your obit.
Yeah,
I mean, the
yeah.
whole 9 yards.
It was going to be a burial at sea, I believe, wasn't it?
We can make that happen.
Yeah, okay. It's not too late, evidently.
I've
I mean, and
experienced,
you don't even have to be dead.
Right.
Yeah. We've experienced that before with a diver, and that was spooky. I don't want to do that again.
Okay. All right. Well, the bottom line is if you get COVID, you'll get through it. That's my message to you. It's not the end of the
Well,
world, especially at this
it's-
point. You know,
It's fortunate that you were vaccinated because it could have been a lot worse.
well, who
Yeah.
knows? You know, whether it was
Oh,
because I was vaccinated or
medical
had it early and
professionals.
on.
You know,
Yeah,
No, they don't
that's
know.
who knows.
They have
Yeah,
no idea what.
Sure.
That's right. Dr. Greg knows.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I was fully vaccinated. I got it 2 years ago at the beginning of this when everybody thought you were going to die. And
You ever catch the flu?
yes, of course.
How often do you catch the flu?
Not very often for me, actually.
But it's been more than once in your lifetime.
Yeah.
How's that possible if you've had the flu once?
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
Barry, just don't even.
No,
Okay,
I mean,
I'm not.
but I was fully vaccinated and I caught it again. My point
Yeah.
is that, you know, whether it was because I was fully, you know, being vaccinated didn't keep me from getting it. That is my point. So if
It's
you get
not
it,
supposed to.
well, it is supposed to put up our defenses against it.
That's right.
Barry.
And
Right.
that's what happened. That's why you were able to get through both shows
Well,
with very little, no coughing, no nothing other than you were kvetching a lot about, I'm a little tired,
Okay.
I got a little fever, but I'm going to stick through it like a power person.
well, okay. Yeah. I was really just
Eh.
sick for a day. And that was
Well, did-
Thursday before the show.
Did this come about
this
the way
past
the
Saturday.
first time came about, which is where you split a bowl of chili with CJ?
No, there was no chili involved on this one. I
they
don't know
just-
how I picked it up. You know, it's
But
floating
you were
through the
with
air
CJ.
now.
Wait,
I was.
but you were with CJ. Maybe he's like a carrier. He's patient zero.
Well, he didn't get sick at all. So whether
no,
I got
because
it
he's
this time-
asymptomatic.
well, we
Right.
don't know. I mean, you know, you guys are trying to medically diagnose all this stuff. We don't know. The question is, we don't know what's causing it. My point overall is just if you get it, you'll get over it. You know, hopefully.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah. You know, and, you know, whether it was because I got vaccinated that it was pretty mild, because it was, I would say, 50% of what it was 2 years ago as far as
Mhm.
the symptoms I had. But was that because I had it early on and I had some leftover residual, or was it because of the antibodies, or was it just because it's milder now? We don't know. The latest variant, one of the things they're saying is that it is much less potent in
Yeah.
general. So, that's why I understand what you're saying. Like, well, because you were vaccinated, it was less powerful. It didn't knock you down so hard. We don't know. We don't know what the truth is.
It doesn't matter what.
What do you guys
matters is
laugh? What's so
you're
funny?
still alive. No,
Okay. All right.
All right.
Whatever.
Let's move on from that. Let's talk about
Yes.
boating.
Let's talk about boating because you have some old boats you want to talk about. Is that it?
There was a story that I saw I get an email once a week from this boatblurb.com.
Yeah.
And I just like the name Boat Blurb. So
Okay.
I keep reading their stories. And it was about boats that are gone and not forgotten. And it got me to thinking about when I was a young lad and I went to day camp, we were right on Biscayne Bay. So we were out on boats every day, whether we were on Hobie Cats sailing or we were on these boats that I could swear they were called BMPs. They were bow riders, where you sat, not center console bow riders, the kind that you sit on either left or right hand side.
Okay.
And they had like a W hull to them, and we would go around Biscayne Bay, and that's before they had speed limits and had fun on those things. And I was just talking to Patrick about. I did a little research on the number of boat manufacturers that have disappeared over the years, and there's quite a few. So I thought I'd just mention that. And I'm curious as whether this boat was called a BMP. That's what we called them in camp.
Which
and
stands for what?
I don't
You don't know.
remember.
It was just
They
that-
looked
that was
looked
the
similar to OMC brand bow riders, except OMC really didn't make bow riders. They did make these little 14-foot and 16-foot boats.
Uh-huh.
And OMC, which was Outboard Motor Company, also made two types of engines or two brand names of engines. Do you
Right.
remember what they are called?
Outboard and inboard board. That's what I'm going with.
Johnson and Evinrude.
Oh, okay. All right.
But
So-
OMC is no longer around. So
Well, or BMP. Is that what you said? BMP?
yeah, I think they were called BMPs. But
Maybe
I
the
cannot-
moral of this story is just don't name your manufacturer by initials. Don't use an acronym.
Well, OMC was a big company at one time, so Outboard
yeah,
Motor
but where are they
Company-
now? That's
Well-
let's see. Maybe
Yeah,
you learn from the past, or you're doomed to repeat it.
but I did look up and I found a small boat made by Regal back from the 70s, and
Yeah.
I was asking Patrick, was that him as the model driving the boat? He said no, that was the owner of the company.
Yeah, no, because I was 3 years old.
Oh,
What, in the
Okay.
70s? Seriously?
I think the time that picture was taken, which was
Yeah.
like 1970,
mm-hmm.
I would have been 3 years old.
Okay.
Oh,
So are
okay,
you
okay.
on the boat in a diaper or something, or no?
Yes, Greg, I
Okay.
am on the boat in a diaper. I teleported myself back to the past,
Mm,
just so that I could be in that picture, knowing that in the future
right.
I would go to work for this company when I was 18 years old.
Great Scott. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm looking at that picture, and that is the kid. You said that's the owner of the
I believe, and you met that person when we were
Yeah.
down at the Miami Boat Show, and you met his wife as well.
right. So
So I believe that is the current president of the company, the oldest son of the founder of Regal Marine Industries.
Mm-hmm.
and that's a nice little outboard there too.
Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting story. I mean, boat manufacturers as a whole, when some, truly got their start, manufacturing boats of some kind, and then moved into pleasure boats and stuff like that. Where Regal, it was the Cook family, Paul Cook, who really his background was in steel buildings, and just decided that going to move the family to Florida and we're going to start a boat company. He had two silent partners, and they came in, they bought an existing boat company that was located, boat manufacturer was located down on West Robinson Street in downtown Orlando, and that became Regal Boats. So it was the small runabouts and stuff, and then grew it. Certainly the oil embargo in 73 almost shut down a lot of boat manufacturers. Regal almost went out of business. They persevered. And 51 years later, I believe the largest independent boat manufacturer in the United States.
Wow. And they don't make any small boats anymore. All your boats are rather large.
The smallest boat currently, I believe, is 20 feet or 21 feet. I know we just had 5 models that went out of production after incredibly long manufacturing runs. the 1900, which had been in production, I swear, like 15 years. That boat went out. So I believe the smallest boat currently is a 20-foot.
Hmm.
Well,
So
there you
when
go.
you think about 20 foot, some people would be like, oh, 20 foot's not that big. And then you get some people, they get in a 20-foot boat and they're like, oh my God, this thing it's huge. You know, it's all a matter of perspective as to what you're used to.
Yeah. So I still want a 16-foot little cabin cruiser.
Now,
Why?
I thought you were pretty well sold on a couple of the yachts that we were in at the booth down there in Miami.
Go
yeah,
big.
but again, my little Tacoma will not tow one of those.
Time to upgrade.
It will. You just won't be able to stop very well.
Well,
Yeah, that's
that
right.
could be, or the transmission will melt.
Okay. Well, there's that. All right, we got more coming up on the World of Boating. Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why we've added Nanook protective hard cases to our list of products you can now purchase on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. Underwater photographers, listen up. From their high-impact NK7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook protective cases cost less than similar products currently on the market. The company has been around for over 15 years, but it's new to the U.S., so we've made a small number of Nanook cases available exclusively for you at a special introductory price on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Go there now and check out Nanook, the evolution of protection.
Be an explorer in the other 2/3 of your world. Be the buddy who takes the kids in the aquarium instead of just to it. Be adventurous. Be amazed. Be a diver.
Even Keatley wasn't ready for me, or anything that followed. Chased by a police department, led by his ex-girlfriend, and hunted by brain fork-wielding Fijian assassins, it's everything he can do to keep from getting locked up, killed, or worse. Kava Screw is available as an ebook for $2.99 at Amazon.com. Kava Screw. Put a brain fork in him. He's done.
You have successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the World of Boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Good morning, Starshine. The Earth says hello.
Earth Day. It should be every day. Earth Day. Make sure you recycle today.
This is the World of Boating. Did you miss Earth Day? That was just yesterday. Yeah.
Yep.
Did you do anything to celebrate Earth Day, Barry, the boater?
I checked out my plants. My
Okay.
my sunflower plants are growing. My tomato plants are growing. My
All right.
pineapple is not quite golden yet. I'm waiting
Right.
for that to turn golden.
So you were
and
talking to your
earth.
plants via to the Earth, I guess, or to the planet. That's kind of how you looked at it.
Well, that is part of Earth Day. Is growing your
Talk
plants.
to your
and
plants.
stuff. I
It's-
talk to them. I harvest.
That's part of
them
Earth
and
Day
all.
and part of a psychological disorder. But we don't have time to dive any deeper into that, so we'll just leave that one live for now. But look, looking back on boating brands that have come and gone, I mean, there's been a bunch of them, and that just crossed your desk. You saw that, you wanted to throw it out there. I don't know how many boating brands have come and gone. Do we even have a number?
Well, yeah, there's a large number, but the top state, guess which is the top state that has had boating manufacturers come and go?
Well, you'd probably be with the largest number of boaters in general, which isn't that Florida or California?
You got it. Ding,
Florida.
ding, ding.
Okay.
You win that one.
All
Florida,
right.
2,230 as of 2021.
2,230 boat
230
brands have come.
Brands have
Wow.
come and gone just in Florida alone. You know,
And one of those was, Barry was right, BMP boats.
Okay, so I haven't lost my memory. So
You have not. It was B period M period P period.
Yeah.
And anybody want to take a guess as to what BMP stood for?
Better motor power boats.
BMP,
Better move power boats. Boating
I don't know.
manufacturers.
PowerPoints? No.
We give up, Patrick. What do we know?
It would be something that you really would. Although Greg had the first word correct.
Boating.
Better?
Better.
Oh, better.
The
Okay.
following two would be like, Better Made Products Incorporated out of Miami, Florida.
Okay.
Oh.
But they've
Barry-
went
Barry
under.
located down at 5303 and a half Northwest 7th Street.
Okay, so they were
Oh,
better,
okay.
but not quite good enough.
Send
And
me-
they made the
Anchor.
Sea Scout.
Send me
all
that.
right.
Oh, okay. That I've heard of. Send me that info because I'd love to look at them again if they have any photos. But these
They
were,
do. They've got some ads.
yeah, they were
Um,
little W hull. Or what would you call them? They're not tri. Are they tri hull?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Bayliner calls it the M hull.
Yeah, because it looked like an M. I remember it from Flipper because I think that they had something similar to that. That the father his patrol boat I think had the tri hull like that.
Okay. So you wanted to be like they were on Flipper. You're
I
feeling
was
very
like that.
melancholy this week. Or
I
something,
was
Barry.
like that. You know, I grew up on Miami Beach.
Yeah.
And during the summertime, my
Really,
Columbus
not in a house? That
no, not in the
sucks.
house. I was out all the time. That was the days when you didn't put on sunblock. You purposely put on oil to get even darker.
Yeah, back in the day, Barry was known as Barry the Bum.
And
But
I looked like it because I just wore a pair of torn up blue jeans that were made into shorts
oh,
and flip flops during the summer,
wow.
all summer long. So by the end of summer, I was looked totally different.
Really? Okay. Well, he painted a picture of him in his earlier days, and I don't know. He kind of.
Well, if you ever saw Bud from Flipper, and he walked around in shorts and flip flops all the time, that's what I looked like
Okay.
during the summertime. There.
All right. So Bud was the dolphin.
No, Bud was the little guy.
Oh,
and then you
okay.
had Sandy was the older brother, and then they had the father, and they all lived in the house by the.
But look at you now. What the hell
aquarium.
happened?
I got old.
Okay. Well. Anyway, but I guess I can say so. You've just you found that brand. You're like, I remember that, and it's kind of like a childhood type of thing that you grew up seeing these, and like, yeah, I wouldn't mind getting one of those.
I was out on those boats every summer, all summer long. My job at the camp was to mix the fuel every morning. That was before they knew about things like, you know, you could get cancer and all that. And I guess children were expendable back then. So
right.
No one ever thought, oh, we could blow ourselves up.
Huh. Okay. All right.
It was what it was.
So
We
you want to get a
survived.
new one and share it with your kids today? Is that what you're saying?
No,
Oh, okay.
they don't even go out on my boat with me now. Well, one's in Texas, and the
They've
other
learned.
one is they've learned not to go out.
The
with
next
me. Yeah.
generation has picked up something to know not to listen to dad, I guess. I don't know.
Nope.
All right. Well, there's that. So I'm
Well,
going to
he
take it for
keeps
what's
showing
worth.
up to go boating with him wearing these ripped up blue jean shorts. What do you think they're going to do?
Well, that's what Mom did when my blue jeans were worn out. Is she would just cut them and turn them into shorts.
Yeah. Yeah. You keep doing that, they're gonna put you in a home. So just be careful, Barry.
That's
But
okay.
you know, I mean, it's fine to look back every now and then, and that's
absolutely.
fine. You know, it's just like you want to capture your youth sometimes, and I guess you know, getting a boat like that you grew up with or you remember back in the day, I could see the appeal, even though it's probably not the smartest thing to,
Well, Greg,
to really consider. Maybe
Could we get out the crystal ball and look into your future?
Sure, let's go. Good Lord, let's go. When I'm a multimillionaire. After creating this empire of radio shows.
Wrong future.
Oh,
wrong future.
Hey, that was a different multiverse level, I guess.
Yeah, it must have been.
Yeah.
I see in your future, with your affinity for cruising, and by that I mean going out on cruise ships, not to be denoted with anything else.
Yep.
Would you consider retiring at sea?
You mean on a cruise ship?
Yes.
You know what? Would I like to do a really long one? Yeah, sure. I mean, they spoil you rotten. You know, you have everything, right there. It's a floating city.
Would you get tired of it after a while?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's it cruises around, it goes to different ports all around the world. You could see the world that way. It's not necessarily a bad way to consider traveling. It'd be quite expensive, I would think. But I don't know if you broke it down by day, maybe not so much. But would I want to live on one?
Broke it down to about $89 a day.
Yeah. Well, hey. There could be something to be said for that. That's cheaper than having them commit me to a home.
That could be. And they could bury you at sea real easy there.
Well, okay.
Put you in a knapsack and dump you overboard when your time is come and gone. No one ever find you.
Yeah, I mean, some of those cruise ships are kind of like a nursing home with a better view. So,
But one I guess you would call him a super cruiser, Malcolm Myers, 88. Once spent 10 straight months aboard Seven Seas Voyager, a Regent Seven Seas ship, says that while the luxury line is not inexpensive, the average cost is comparable to what he pays in his high-end senior living community in Stuart, Florida.
Well, there you go. See? Something to think about. More coming up on The World of Boating.
You're listening to The World of Boating Radio Network.
Traffic sucks, unless you're scuba diving with Mike Scott.
Mike glanced down at his dive computer. It showed less than 50 PSI left in his tank. Probably just a few more breaths.
Or riding shotgun in a thrilling car chase.
One bullet hit the Jeep's windshield, spiderwebbing the passenger side. Mike shifted into second gear and felt the Jeep leap forward. This just got serious.
Escape your commute with audiobooks from author Eric Douglas. Download to your phone. Go to booksbyeric.com or audible.com.
Be an explorer in the other 2/3 of your world. Be the buddy who takes the kids in the aquarium instead of just to it. Be adventurous. Be amazed. Be a diver.
Imagine traveling twice as fast as you can drive. Imagine taking friends and family snorkeling, surfing, skiing, shopping, and more to exotic destinations. Imagine attending business meetings in cities far away and still making it home at night. Or just imagine exploring the wild blue yonder.
Quit dreaming about it and get to it. There has never been a better time to become a private pilot, and Flight Training Professionals in Orlando will show you how. Flight Training Professionals in Orlando is your full-service flight school. A state-of-the-art flight simulator, a fleet of the latest Cessna aircraft, and a staff of full-time seasoned flight instructors are just a few of the many reasons Flight Training Professionals in Orlando is the place to start your aviation adventure. Call 407-896-0077. That's 407-896-0077. Or go to ftpros.com. That's ftpros.com. This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate. Captain Patrick Barry, the boater, navigating the latest boating news and information. And just throwing out some ideas. Maybe you want to retire instead of going into the nursing home or, the big community we have here in Central Florida, the villages. Maybe you go just live on a cruise ship year round. You get a better view, see more of the world. Might be a lot more economical than you think, according to Captain Patrick there. This guy, did an article, $89 a day for a 10-month cruise?
Now, that was a different guy who spent 10 months, but the people before that cost averaged out, and it was about $89 a day is what they had spent. They did like 8 months, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that. So for me, nope. Not my thing.
Yeah.
Well,
not at all.
you would be living really stripped down to your basic essentials of clothing and maybe one scuba radio guitar.
If you were living on a cruise ship.
If you were living on a cruise, well, look how big the cabins are. They're not that big.
Well, they're not, but you don't need a bunch of stuff. You can buy clothes.
Well, that's what I was saying.
Ports.
Well, that's what I was saying is that you would be living a stripped down life of just your essentials, your clothing, and
it'd be no different than going to living on a sailboat and retiring to a sailboat.
Yeah,
cruising the world, except that you don't have to do all the work.
Right,
you don't have
to fix the ship.
Yeah, see,
or cook the food.
But
or
you can still
clean
be out on the water
like
and be a boater because it would still kind of count.
No, it counts. But the question is, do you think you would want to do that for the rest of your life?
Well, I would go for long. I'd do like a month or two. I'd consider something like that, but I don't know if I could go much longer than that. At some point, you're going to want to get off and get back adjusted, I think, to the real world. But I don't know. You've been there, you go there and do it. You may love it and may not want to get off. I mean, you're only a flight away from getting back to wherever you need to go. That'd be the only thing when you're out and traveling, but that applies to traveling in general, So I don't know. It has some appeal for sure. Retiring as a boater. And you don't necessarily say you're on a cruise ship. You just say you're a boater, and then all your friends and everybody are pretty impressed. Right?
No, then they want to invite themselves aboard, and they find out they have to pay for that.
Well, there's that, and plus the fact that you gain a pound or two a day on a cruise ship. So, you may have to. They'll use you as one of the fenders for the cruise ship after about a month or so.
We're listening to One Side Cat.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
To join me crew, lad. Welcome aboard.
I'm here to find the man I love.
I'm deeply flattered, son, but my first and only love is the sea. I'm the captain of the boat, and I really like to float on the water.
This is the World of Boating. Captain Jack Sparrow. Maybe he'll retire to a boat after this trial, because if it doesn't go the way he wants it to, he may not have any choice.
I heard that trial was over already, and he won it.
Oh,
but
Barry.
Maybe I was wrong.
Barry. No, this thing's going to go on for like another 4 or 5 weeks, probably.
Oh, okay.
They're just getting started on this nonsense. But yeah, who knows where that's going to play.
His suit's a little too flashy.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what we specialize here at World of Boating.
Yeah, there's we've had this issue over the past many years of abandoned boats clogging up waterways and things like that. And I know we touched on this story over in Cape Coral, this sailboat that went down right off the park, and everybody's fighting over, who's responsible, who's who financially is supposed to get this thing out of here. So meanwhile, this boat is sitting on the bottom. It's tilted, probably at a good 45 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And now the citizenry are up in arms, Greg. They are really, really incensed, and now something might get done.
Why?
Any idea as to why? What now is the catalyst?
It's in somebody's way.
No.
Wait.
Okay.
Is the mast still sticking out of the water?
It is.
Okay, so that means they've flown something on top of this mast.
No.
Really? Okay.
All right.
It is a certain segment of the population, let's say of a certain age, maybe those who would go and consider to go on a cruise ship year-round to live on it, have filmed teenagers climbing up the mast and jumping into the water.
Oh, I used to jump off the bridges in Miami Beach.
And it's like, look, they're outside in the fresh air getting exercise. Leave them alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, get the boat out of there eventually, but this shouldn't be the. Well, now these young teenagers are out there and they're climbing up the mast and they're jumping into the water and one of them's going to get hurt. Just chill out.
Well, that would be
Relax.
like a rope swing if they still had the lines attached to the mast.
Yeah, I mean, that's what
Right.
Greg would be doing.
Well, but the city probably is going, oh, we don't have insurance to cover this. If someone gets hurt, we're going to be bankrupt.
The
Is that
city doesn't care. If they cared, they would have had this thing out of here as soon as the first day that the thing went over on its side. The fact of the matter is, everybody starts fighting over these abandoned boats. Who's responsible? They either relying on state money, federal money, or county money, something in the budget that will allow them to go out and reclaim these boats, because reclaiming them, getting them refloated, getting them out of the water and then disposed of is not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. But in this particular instance, I mean, there's video, and you can see that video on the World of Boating Facebook page or at worldofboating.com. These kids climbing up the mast actually looks like they're having one heck of a time. And yeah, Barry, I used to do that exact same thing that you did. I used
Yep.
to do that in Merritt Island. We'd have somebody posted below, any boats coming through the bridge? Nope.
Nope. Jump
And
off the bridge.
I'm talking the causeway bridges now.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm talking about the Hubert Humphrey Bridge and the 520 bridge connecting from Cocoa to Merritt Island. So we're not talking about a small leap. So yeah, boat traffic is one of those things that you definitely would want to keep out for. And I would never, ever, ever advocate that anybody listening or their kids or anything like that do anything like that today, because that would be stupid. Probably as stupid as when I did it back when I was a teenager.
Well, if you want
But
a deterrent, just put up a picture of Patrick and Barry and say, hey, you do this kind of nonsense, you'll turn up like these two idiots.
Oh, they'll be lucky.
Well, the story is twofold. One, we do have more and more of these boats that are being abandoned. Part of that is due to the housing crisis, people looking for a cheaper way to live, basically getting anything that will float
For a little
whether
while.
it runs or not, get it out into an anchorage somewhere and just take their little dinghy in or whatever it is and go do their job and come back and just live as cheap as they can. And some of those boats, unfortunately, are not seaworthy enough to even be out on the water. This one, as I said, looks like just a bunch of kids having a good time. Yeah, boat should be taken out of there. And this is does not appear to be a small sailboat by any stretch of the imagination. Mast is, these kids they're all into the rigging and stuff, and climbing up the thing at an angle and then getting as far as they can up to the top, and then they're just dropping into the water. Leave them alone.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun to me.
It's
I'd,
like
I'd be out there.
Well, when you're a kid, you used to find old abandoned forts and things, like tree houses in the local woods and stuff, and just you turn it into your playground, right? It's not much different, with the exception of all the extra elements of the water that, I mean, it's always someone has to ruin the fun, though. And I bet you it's an insurance thing. Because they're
It's
like
a crotchety old man.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, if they fall and they break a leg or something, they're going to sue us for everything we got. We can't afford that.
But the same people that are complaining about that don't want to put up any money to go and get the thing taken out of the water. So it's going to be one or the other, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Either you're going to have to pony up some extra tax money and get these things out of the water, or potentially pony up some extra tax money for lawsuits.
Barry,
one of the two.
They could hire the Scuba Radio Scuba Squad.
Turn it into an artificial reef.
Our boss could send us out there with a bunch of lift bags that he could get donated to the Scuba Squad, and we could lift the boat ourselves.
Or we sink it and turn it into a new dive site.
It's already sunk.
Well, yeah.
Well, it's partially sunk, but I thought that fiberglass boats, sailboats don't make good dive sites.
I don't know that it matters.
Could be.
I mean, you'd have to take it out to deeper water. That'd be the trick.
I thought there was
just
an
take
environmental concern with FRP.
If we took a saw and just cut the mast off, wouldn't it just disappear then?
No, it's you still got a good bit of the deck and some of the hull out of the water.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
okay.
it's really
shallow there.
close to the shoreline.
Okay. So that's what it is. They're messing up our view.
Oh, well, that is part of the story from a couple weeks ago when this kind of came about. Is like, now I can't see, and my view is obstructed. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, leave your kids alone.
Okay.
On to other news,
Mm-hmm.
there is a new launch on the Intercoastal Waterway that is scheduled to be officially opened Thursday, April 28th. Contractors are still putting the finishing touches on some of the amenities, but the boat ramps have already been opened, and this is like a $17 million launch facility.
Wow.
And there are problems.
Why? What's wrong with the ramps?
Well, what makes you think that the problem is with the ramps?
Well, you said the ramps are open, but the rest of it, they're still touching up. So something's got to be wrong if there's a problem.
The problem is with the ramps. Apparently, with all the great engineering, the ramps are crooked. They're canted at an angle so that when you're backing in to launch or recover, your trailer is tilted one way or the other.
How's that possible? Cement would want to.
So you mean they're uneven? Is that what you're saying? They're uneven.
He means they're. It's like listing to either port or starboard.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, but how could concrete do that?
Well, maybe it settled wrong.
That begs the question. For 17. Oh, you wanted the ramps that aren't crooked. Oh, we could have given you that package for $25 million. 17 million. You get the crooked ramps.
You get the crooked ramps.
Wow. Well, so I mean, if the ramps are crooked, I would imagine it's not massively crooked, is it? Or do we know?
It's
how much?
It's massively crooked. If you go to worldofboating.com or World of Boating on Facebook page, you'll find this story, and you can take a look for yourself as to how massively crooked these are. The article is Design Flaws Surface at Baldwin County's new $17 million boat launch. And you're going to have issues certainly with your twin hull boats, your pontoon boats, things like that. That you're really. I've launched and recovered boats on a wide variety of ramps over the many years that I've done this. A couple times it's been literally right off the side of the road where there wasn't even a ramp.
But they can fix this for a measly $17 million more, right?
What they're looking into it as to what's going to be required, and what's going to be required is to basically build a cofferdam, drain these areas out, and I don't know if they did the concrete, if they were slabs that they bought in and put in place, or if when they had the cofferdams up and the area was drained out of water, if they laid in traditionally as you would with concrete.
Or they put a dead body under one side and now they're seeing the effects of it. Maybe the mob was involved. I don't know. Maybe that's just my imagination. More coming up. Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Do you have a message or product you need to share with the boating world? Well, look no further than the World of Boating radio show. Just like you, thousands of boating enthusiasts are hearing this message, and we could be talking about you and your product or service as early as next Saturday. Remember, a terrible thing happens when you don't advertise. Nothing. Go to worldofboating.com, send us an email, and let's get to work to make your marketing message matter.
Traffic sucks, unless you're scuba diving with Mike Scott.
Mike glanced down at his dive computer. It showed less than 50 PSI left in his tank. Probably just a few more breaths.
Or riding shotgun in a thrilling car chase.
One bullet hit the Jeep's windshield, spiderwebbing the passenger side. Mike shifted into second gear and felt the Jeep leap forward. This just got serious.
Escape your commute with audiobooks from author Eric Douglas. Download to your phone. Go to booksbyeric.com or audible.com.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why we've added Nanook protective hard cases to our list of products you can now purchase on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. Underwater photographers, listen up. From their high-impact ink K7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook protective cases cost less than similar products currently on the market. The company has been around for over 15 years, but it's new to the U.S., so we've made a small number of Nanook cases available exclusively for you at a special introductory price on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Go there now and check out Nanook, the evolution of protection.
You have successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the World of Boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Welcome aboard. I will be your captain. You'll be my scallywags. I don't know what that means, but you will be them. And here's how we play.
Thank you for your attention and welcome aboard.
Let's go.
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Captain Patrick. Barry the boat around and out the crew as we navigate the latest boating news and information. All right, the FBI is planning to dig, start a dig for Jimmy Hoffa. Maybe ought to start at that boat ramp. Maybe that's what's making it uneasy or uneven.
No, that's not it.
Anyway, we don't know till they dig.
No, I pretty well know.
Okay.
Baldwin County engineer Joey Nunnally is aware of the complaints and recognizes there's a problem, particularly with larger boats, pontoons, or catamarans. The problem is easily visible, as this Fox News 10 was out there. And the quote from Nunnally is, in true Alabama fashion,
"Oops.
Us and the design engineers all went down yesterday and looked at it. The design engineers are back down there today taking some further measurements and investigations, and we'll figure it out." There's not not too much to figure out.
Do they have a quote of the guy after they looked at it where they do? I think we have it. No, that's all we have. Okay.
It looks like a big ramp.
It's a very wide ramp. It's just one of in that whole facility. Again, $17 million for this facility on the ICW that they're getting ready to open up.
Why so expensive? That seems insane, doesn't it? $17 million to put in some boat ramps?
That's a bargain. That's a bargain. Again, if you wanted the ramps that were true and straight, that would have been about $25 million. But for $17 million, you got the crooked ramps.
That was discount boat ramps are us.
Interesting.
Well, remember that also includes the land, the parking, because you can't have a normal parking lot. Remember, boat ramp boats, you had the trailer and the towing vehicle. So the parking lots are extra large.
Anyway, my prediction is this.
Okay.
They're going to do absolutely nothing.
Just let people deal with it?
I believe that will be hey, look, over time,
maybe it'll settle.
The other side will settle down.
When Jimmy Hoffa decomposes just enough, the other side will sink down and it'll even out.
I'm pretty sure that he is dust.
To something Barry and I were talking about, during the break was, they build a cofferdam, you got this whole area drained out. Whether the concrete was poured or they had preformed slabs, whatever it is, the ground underneath was all prepped, leveled out, you would think. And there comes a point where the cofferdams come out and you allow the water to come back in, and you would think that, hey, does that look right to you? As the water's coming in, and decidedly you could see that there's an issue. I don't think it happened, when people started launching their boats. This issue was there from the get-go.
They'll never notice.
Somebody didn't know how to, maybe they were leaning on the level at the time.
Well,
you didn't sandwich.
The engineer had surgery on one of his legs years ago, and it's 1 inch shorter on one side.
One of those. Okay.
And in more boat ramp news, I know we all enjoy paying boat ramp fees. Right, Barry?
Yeah, no.
Greg doesn't, because Greg just comes down and Greg is a scab. He just
favorite.
He jumps on other people's boats. Doesn't offer to pay for gas or parking or anything like that.
I'm a guest. Come on.
My ramp fees doubled at the place that I use, which was a little bit of a shock.
So what's the problem? I mean, what, are they charging too much for the ramp fees at this particular place or what?
Well, this is in Citrus County.
Okay.
So here in Florida.
So you got to pay with oranges. Grapefruits?
No. So they hired a third party to collect boat ramp fees. And I can financially, I still don't understand how subcontracting that stuff out ever makes any financial sense to the government entity. I know they're like, we'll pay this company X and we'll get X from them and they get, this other bit. So what they've done, this third party that's collecting these boat ramp fees, it's not like they're staging people out at the boat ramps. They put up, it's a pay app, so that when you go to park, you have to download the app, you have to register, pay your parking via the app.
Right.
And there is issues with what people have been getting charged, getting charged incorrectly, and now they're taking it back to the county commission. And now there are, they're the same thing with the boat ramp, the crooked boat ramp. Their quote is, the system is not likely to change. To put someone on site would cost too much. They think it's getting better, but they're not really sure. Right. So the way that this particular situation works is Premium Parking Service keeps 20% of the collected revenue and Citrus County gets 80%. But it's all a pay app. So why, as a county, you wouldn't just have your IT department develop a pay app and just do it yourself and, get at least another 15% out of that 20% that you're paying this company.
And counties can do it because my son started out with the City of Miami Parking Authority, which is a entity that is a county entity, and they had a pay app system for their parking systems.
And here's what they always look at. They look at the dollars. As of March 16th, the county collected $50,000 in revenue. Of that, $11,000 was spent on vendor fees to premium parking and sales tax. Another $6,800 was spent on installation costs, and $473 on utilities.
A lot of waste. And the government could do better.
The
I don't
voters
know.
are getting really upset.
Well, there you go. On that note, we'll have to wrap it up for this week. Till next time, remember, whether it's sail or motor,
life is better as a boater.
Safe boating, everyone.
Here, you barnacle-bitten swab. World of Boating is brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Any of this getting through to you, son?
World of Boating is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Computer standing by.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past shows worldwide over the internet at worldofboating.com.
Computers can do that?
So tell a friend and come aboard every week for the World of Boating.
This is so great. I can't wait. I'm getting goosebumps. Feel me. Feel me.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
TTFN, ta-ta for now.
The opinions you just heard on the World of Boating are those of the hosts, callers, and guests. They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
What are you being such a weenie for?
While on the water, your safety and the safety of many others depends on you. So boat smart and operate your vessel only after receiving the proper training and instruction for your area.
There is a fine line between genius and madness.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at worldofboating.com.